All right, we're talking about dating after a narcissist, why it can be so hard, and why getting back to a point of trusting again is the most challenging, one of the most challenging things in overcoming, being with a narcissist and so forth. A lot of times, especially when people come out of these things, they have, certain traumas that they have now acquired through dealing with these narcissists. And, one of them is the inability to trust their own judgment. That's a big thing for people. They don't, when they're just coming out of it, they don't know who to trust. They start thinking everyone is like that. They start feeling like everyone is going to turn into the exact same thing that they just encountered because they just didn't see it. And now that they came into this information, it's an information overload for a lot of people. That's why I said too much of the specific subject content of just narcissism can drive you into a state of, paranoia and hypervigilancy, right? So you have to manage the type of information that you get and know how to manage it to in accordance with what you're dealing with in your current life stage now. So a lot of people do not manage this information very well. They take it all in as it is, and then they start coupling everything that they are going through and who they're dealing with as a narcissist, or thinking that everyone is a narcissist. So that in that aspect, it can make dating extremely hard, or even meeting new friends, right? New associates. It can make that extremely hard to where people are not comfortable with people again. And I've seen this happen with a lot of people. Me, myself, after about 2 years of really going through and exploring narcissism and learning about it, I was able to reach a point of, a certain discernment to know who was toxic. I stopped using the term narcissist for me personally. And I just started looking at what was toxic behavior and what wasn't toxic behavior, what was appropriate behavior and what was inappropriate behavior, without generalizing and, again, coupling it with narcissism. Because that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. And again, it's because they go through this, they just get the information unguided. A lot of people don't get therapy after this. A lot of people don't get any coaching after this. They're just going on here getting the information and then thinking that they're going to be able to maneuver through, and they find themselves in the same very predicament. And that comes with, like I said, not properly managing this information and having a complete grasp and understanding of what it is. So for me, I just broke things down to what were behaviors that I did not like in the narcissist that I was dealing with, right? That I didn't want to see again. I took those specific behaviors, right? The things that was kind of off, that was kind of general, that I've seen before, that really wasn't necessarily toxic, but maybe annoying, right? That wasn't maybe necessarily harmful, but maybe a little awkward, right? I separated things. So I knew the things that weren't to an extreme, I knew that wasn't going to hurt me. I knew that that wasn't going to put me in the same position of what I was dealing with the narcissist. So I was able to separate and compartmentalize certain things and certain aspects accordingly. That's important. You have to be able to do that, because when you get into the mode of generalizing all of this stuff and just putting everything together as one whole, You're going to become extremely confused, on edge, and creeped out by a lot of type of stuff that you're seeing, right? I remember this example I was looking at. I was watching something. I can't remember, but they were talking about how when things get brought to your attention, you tend to see them or focus on them more, right? Let's say you always wanted to get you a certain type of car. You see it, you get it. Before that, you hardly seen any of those type of cars. But once you get it, now you see the car all over the place. You're seeing them everywhere. That's kind of how it works with this information, right? Whatever you bring to the top of your attention is what you're going to see and find. So it's about balance, folks. It's about having a healthy balance and understanding of this information when you get back out there, to where you're not immediately turning to the whole narcissist aspect that, they're probably a narcissist. They're a narcissist. It's like, I've said this so many times, excuse me, everyone is not a narcissist. Some people have unhealthy, bad habits, but they're not to the extreme of being a narcissist. They're not to that destructive, diabolical state of being a narcissist. Some people were just with assholes. And because they were such an asshole, they were considered a narcissist. Right? Some people were just with extremely selfish people. Right? Because they were selfish and kind of wanted things their way at certain times, they were considered a narcissist. It gets confused. It gets mixed up and misinterpreted frequently nowadays. There is a distinct difference between a full-fledged narcissist and some of these other things which people are miscategorizing. Sadly, I mean, that's just what's going on nowadays. People are miscategorizing the terminology of what a narcissist is. And so they have everyone thinking that any type of dislikable behavior or suspicious behavior makes that person a narcissist. And if you're one of those people, you're going to be miserable and alone. Maybe you'll be happy. I can't say you'll be miserable because I don't know how certain people operate or whatnot. You may find peace and solace in being alone or whatnot, or in that state. So I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to say, but I'm talking to the people who are having a hard time getting out there, dating, getting back to a sense of normality, right? You have to be able to separate. And the key thing that helped me was to write down all of the things that I did not like outside of this information, just things for me, what I liked and what was a no-go for me, right? And I stuck with that. I didn't go by what the DSM said about narcissistic behavior. Because in totality, us as humans, the human nature, human expression is going to show itself in different variations amongst all of us at certain aspects. So either you go with, hey, we're all narcissists. And at that point, what do you do then? Now it's like you go into a cocoon, you go into hiding, you go into hermit mode and leave everyone, disassociate with everyone, distrust everyone. And no, you can't. You have to be able, in a healthy way, to choose and understand what would be harmful to you, or something that would interfere with your peace, safety, and well-being, right? But to have relations and interactions healthy with people, you have to mingle. You have to be around and socialize with people. That's a fundamental part of human existence too, to be sociable. We're sociable creatures by nature. So it you have to write these things down, folks. Like, people call them, I'm not just talking about pet peeves, but I'm talking about things, stuff that someone would do to you that if they gave no consideration and blew you off, like something you don't like, and they just blew it off and they kept doing it. Okay, you put that down. To be ignored, to be disrespected, right? To be invalidated, those type of things. If people are doing those things to you and it's on your list, nope, not dealing with that one. Forget whether or not they're a narcissist or not, right? Let's stop focusing so much on that. And let's look at what are the things that are not constructive to what you want in your life and your presence and around you. Those are the things that's going to harm you anyway. The things that go against what you deem to be respectable to yourself, what you deem for someone to value you, to reciprocate, to be considerate, right? Because hell, there's a lot of inconsiderate people. But does that make them narcissists? No. There's a lot of people who don't reciprocate. There's a lot of people that does that make them narcissists? No. It's about finding out what things do you want to tolerate and what things that you absolutely will not tolerate. That will help you in the dating field, and that will help you kind of narrow down to how to move and what things to look for and question when you're asking your critical questions. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Any one-on-ones, email me and I'll get you information on how to go about doing that. Serious inquiries. Some people are asking about some weird stuff, but I'll get you information on that. And anyway, until next time, have a good one.